Hello, everybody. Today, oh, gotta change my name. Okay, better redo. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Towns on 99, or welcome back if you're a lovely viewer. Today, I'm going to be reviewing the Jimi Hendrix Experience's second album, second of three, and that is Axis Bold as Love. Yes, this is their second album, released in 1967, months after the debut from 1967's Are You Experienced, which I forgot when I reviewed it, what day it was, but I reviewed that album just recently. And it's a cool gatefold. This is again just to remind you guys. This was doing this series because Adam from What the Gym recommended me doing him, and he won a contest, and which was the best white album, and he won. Bravos to him, of course. And I love his first album, but his second album, it just gets better from there. And his next album after that, Electric Ladyland, it gets even better from there. So it just gets better and better. But having that said, let's get to reviewing. So the first track starts off with EXP, which is this weird thing about aliens and UFOs and flying saucers. And I mean, it goes without saying, this is the weakest track on the album. It just works as a opener, like as like a transitional piece, but it's like an intro. Like this isn't like a track that you would go listen to on its own, and it's good as an introduction, but this isn't like a good representation of what's to come on this album. Trust me. Don't let this first track deceive you. This is an incredible album. It's just what a weird way to end. What a weird way to start the album. I mean, even the next album starts with a weird track, but the only proper track that Jimi Hendrix starts off with is Purple Haze, and that's probably his best opener. But I mean, it's his only normal opener. But next track is what I consider to be the real opener, Up From the Skies. I love this track. I have to look at the track listing because I won't lie, I don't listen to this album that much. Now that I've been listening to this album more recently, and I think it's a crime that I've been listening to this album that much. Two albums I listened to the one I really listened to the most was Our Experience. That one I know basically all the tracks front to back, all those tracks. This album, not as much Electric Ladyland, but this album like the least familiar with. But yeah, Up From the Skies. What a great sort of psychedelic jazz fusion song. Very different from what I'm used to. This isn't anything I've ever heard before from a Hendrix album. I mean, not that it's bad. This is epic. This is great. Even though it's sort of towards in the middle, to the bottom of the list. This is some good stuff. I really like it. But yeah, this is a great track. That's followed up by Spanish Castle Magic. Yeah, there's two castles, two songs with castles in it. So I was confused a little at first, but yeah, Spanish Castle Magic. This sort of continues what the first song was going with, and well, not the first song, EXP, but the last track. It kind of goes like the track listing on this. I will say is the most cohesive of the three. Like every track goes great after another. Like couldn't get any better of a track listing. Great song. Wait Until Tomorrow. Reminds me of Foxy Lady. And I mean that in a great way possible. This reminds me of Foxy Lady. There's two songs off this album. Well, there's three songs off this album that remind me of the songs from their last album. Which, to me, the last album's amazing. So, not that, but I might even prefer the counterparts for this album. Like, I might prefer this over Foxy Lady. Don't kill me in the comments. Yeah, this is a fantastic song. Not sure if it made it into my top 5. I'm not sure. I'm not going to reveal it. I always spoil my top 5. Not this time. Not this time. Ain't No Telling. This song reminds me of Fire from the debut. I did emphasize that was my favorite Jimi Hendrix song. Still is. This isn't as good as Fire, but it really is a great song. But I wouldn't put it up there with Fire. Fire is Hendrix's best song, so it's gonna be hard to beat that song. A great song, really. Next song on the album, Little Wing. I've been familiarizing myself with the Derek and the Dominoes version, which, spoiler, I prefer that version over this version, the original. But this original version is awesome. It's great. It's relaxing. Very different from the Derek and the Dominoes version that me and Garrett prefer. That would end up being on the Derek and the Dominoes album. If 6 was 9. Very kind of a slower song. Gets really psychedelic at the end. Hey, this whole album is really psychedelic. It's crazy, but I will say this probably is most I gotta listen to Electric Ladyland again to make this call, but this might be his most psychedelic song that he did yet. I'm not sure. Not his most psychedelic song. His most psychedelic album he did. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it is. This reminds me of The Wind Cries Mary, but not nearly as good as The Wind Cries Mary. I mean, this is probably towards the bottom of my list of songs on the album. But yeah, this is good. It's a good way to end off the first side. I will say that. You Got Me Floating. This is a great way to start off the second side of the record. Really good guitar licks. I mean, goes without saying, the guitar parts on this album just kick ass. I mean, I think that goes without saying. It's Jimi fucking Hendrix, so I don't think anyone's gonna post with the guitar parts for me on that. But even then, the bass playing on this album is also fantastic. The drumming is top notch. And this is one of my favorite 3-man bands. This is probably my third favorite of the 3-man bands, only being beaten out by Cream and Rush. But those two bands are also really good, especially Cream. Cream is really good. Love Cream. I love Rush. But yeah, these are my 3 favorite 3-man bands: Hendrix Experience, Cream, Rush. Okay, but yeah, that's a great song. You Got Me Floating. Castles Made of Sand. Good song, really good song. Probably towards the middle of the road, but really good song. Really good song, despite that. But yeah, She's So Fine. Oh my god, this is amazing track. This is the first time, not the last time, No Writing gets both a song he writes and he sings it, which didn't do it on the first album. He did it on this album and he did it on the next album. I wish he did it on Are You Experienced, because this is one of my favorites on the album. She's So Fine. Always love this song. I love the way he sings. No Writing has a really underrated singing voice. I love Hendrix's voice, but I don't think his voice truly gets fantastic until the next album, which Sadly, it's their last album. Is what it is. One Rainy Wish. This song's awesome. Really, really awesome. Just barely did make it into my top 5. It was this battling with another song. And I was like, this song just barely edges it out. But yeah, what a great song. Little Miss Lover. This is my least favorite off the album, besides, of course, EXP. But it is an epic song. It is really good stuff on this. Hendrix sings great on this one. But yep, sadly, this is my least favorite off this awesome album. Besides, of course, EXP. And then the album ends off on Bold as Love, the title track. I will say this title track on this album isn't as good as the title track on the last album. But if you ask me which album's better, I'd say Bold as Love. But if you ask me which title track is better, I'd say Are You Experienced? But if you ask me which title track is the best out of 3, I'd probably say Have You Ever Seen the Electric Ladyland? I think Electric Ladyland's both the best album and both the best song. So, but these two, well, it's like the opposite with the first 2 albums in terms of title tracks and which album's better. Okay, pretty quick review, but my 5 favorite songs. My number 5 will be Little Wing. That song just barely beat out One Rainy Wish, which that's the honorable mention. Number 4, You Got Me Floating. Number 3, Wait Until Tomorrow. That song's awesome. Number 2, Ain't No Telling. That song, I love Ain't No Telling. It's like basically fire, but whatever. And then my favorite song on the album, She's So Fine. Love that song. But what do I rate it? What? And for the dishonorable song, it's obvious EXP. But for the honorable mention, it's One Rainy Wish. And what do I rate it from a scale through 1 through 10? Well, despite EXP being not the best opener for a Hendrix album, I give it a 10 out of 10. This thing is monumental. It's different. Brought Hendrix to a different. It's Hendrix evolving, and I love how he evolves into one of the greats on this one. I mean, his first album sort of just establishes him, but this one just sort of builds on him. And then the next album was supposed to be more building, like more of a building stage. It's supposed to be a transitional album, which me and Adam from What the Gym, I'm going to have him on the channel to review the 3rd album because to me it's his best album by a long run, in my opinion. And we'll both talk about that album. It's such a shame that that's their last album because I feel like they were so capable of a lot more, and it's not like they were not fulfilling it because they weren't trying. They were trying their best and doing a great job at trying. It's just Hendrix passed away, and of course, how are they going to continue without Hendrix? You know, he's basically the leader. He's the front man. But anyway, well, I don't usually do this, but since it's just 3 albums, my ranking would be Axis Build is one at number 1, and Our Experience at number 2. So next time, like I said, me and Adam from What the Gym, we will be reviewing their 3rd album, Electric Ladyland. Stay tuned for that. This was a fun video to make, and thank you so much. Oh yeah, by the way, stay tuned. Me and Jason from the Jason the Old Millennial will be reviewing the Kinks' first debut album. The first album, Kinks, and yeah, excited for that. But see you guys next time.